Douglas Reid from Reid Corporate, and I'm very fortunate to have Gerard O'Donovan, the Executive Director of Sun Silver, with me. Sun Silver is one of the most exciting new IPOs, resources IPOs of the year. Gerard, fantastic to have you. Exciting time. Tell us about Sun Silver.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. So the Sun Silver IPO received overwhelming support from investors. We actually closed the IPO 3 weeks early, and we'll be accepting the maximum subscription of $13 million. And we're looking to list in the coming days.
So tell us about your key asset. You're in Nevada in the US, I believe. Tell us about Maverick Springs.
Yeah, so Maverick Springs it's a globally significant silver asset. It has 292 million ounces of silver equivalent at 72.4 grams per ton, 176 million ounces of pure silver, and 1.37 million ounces of gold. So it's a silver gold asset, which is a very important point. And as you mentioned, we're in Nevada. So Nevada was voted the #1 mining jurisdiction by the Fraser Institute in 2022. A fantastic location, and we're surrounded by a lot of notable mining companies such as Barrick, Kinross, Coeur, and geologically in that area we're in the Carolin Trend. So carbonate host rocks, amenable to low-cost mining and production. So all in all, a fantastic location to be in.
Generally big deposits over there, am I right?
Large deposits, so 75% of the USA's silver and gold comes from Nevada. The world's largest gold mine is about 100 kilometers to the north of us. That's Barrick's Carolin mine. So yeah, big deposits, lots of tons, and as I said, low cost from an operational perspective, which is very attractive.
So tell us a bit about the people behind Sun Silver, Gerard. You've got a team with a lot of experience. Give us a bit of a background.
Yeah, I'm really well supported on the board by two other gentlemen. Dean Ercegovic is our non-executive chairman. Dean was a founding director and chief operating officer of Primero Group, ASX listed company. Dean has lots of experience in project development, has developed many projects worldwide. And also Nathan Maher is our non-executive director. Nathan has developed 2 silver mines around the world. He's a metallurgist, those silver mines being in Argentina and Papua New Guinea. So he has a wealth of experience when it comes to silver. And on the ground in Nevada, we have Robert Anderson. Robert has 17 years experience working in the Carolin Trend. He's worked for Newmont and most recently with Coeur on their Rochester deposit, where he was leading up their expansion projects. It must be noted that Coeur's Rochester mine operates at a head grade of 12 grams per ton, which again lends weight to low-cost mining and operations in the Carolin Trend.
So I'm going to come back to the project in a minute, Gerard, but before we go there, I have to ask you about the silver market. Everyone's talking about it at the moment. It's a market that's seeing a significant supply squeeze. What's silver used for, firstly, and what's happening in that market? What's driving it at the moment?
Yeah, it's a great position to be in, to be bringing a silver asset to the market in the middle of a supply squeeze, as you mentioned, Nick. We've looked at it. We feel that's predominantly driven by silver's use in industry and industrial uses, and mainly solar. So solar has grown exponentially over the last 10 years. The use of silver within solar alone has grown from 48 million ounces to 160 million ounces, so nearly 330%. And also, the location where we are in the United States, they have mandated the deployment of solar for use within their electrical grid significantly by 2030 and 2050. They've set targets of 30% and 45% respectively in those years for solar to be used as part of their electrical grid. And if they were to meet that target by 2050, it would consume 98% of world global silver reserves.
So you're in the US, it's one of the biggest markets globally. Well, what's happening in the solar industry there specifically?
So they've set lofty targets, as I mentioned earlier. 45% of the electrical grid come from solar by 2050. Currently, that sits at 3%. So quite significant strides to be made in the area, and also with a heavy reliance on China for the production of PV panels. The US is also looking at decoupling itself and supplying and manufacturing within the United States.
That's very exciting. So you right time, right place, and you've got a big deposit. So what's the upside and what's next in terms of what you're actually going to do in the coming months?
Yeah, so a globally significant resource, as I mentioned earlier, with 292 million ounces, but significant upside from an exploration perspective. We believe that there is a potential to grow the resource, and we plan on doing that in a number of ways. So currently, the existing resource accounts for about 60% of the total mineralization, the 292 million ounces. And we feel at a desktop level, through some optimization works, and based on current market pricing, we can expand that resource. We must be mindful that the historic pricing was calculated on $21.50 US an ounce silver and $18.50 US an ounce gold. So we see it in different markets right now. And we feel by doing some desktop optimization works, as I said, we can grow the resource. And also we'll be looking at upgrading the classification through infill drilling. So a three-pronged approach with respect to exploration, but also we'll be looking at some silver paste studies and some solar studies. So 23% of the material cost of a solar panel is silver, and that's predominantly silver paste. So we feel there's a value add, and we'll be looking at exploring that.
Fantastic. So you're going to be drilling soon. So just quickly run us through where that drilling will focus initially and what investors can look forward to there.
Yeah, so our initial plan is to add ounces. As I said, we'll commence with some desktop works, but we're already actively planning our drill campaign. So Robert has been in the field assessing what we need to kick off that drilling campaign. And that will include expansional drilling and extensional drilling to the northwest.
So let's bring it home for investors if you could, Gerard. So just give us a picture of a resource of over 290 million ounces. In ASX terms, where do you sit in terms of your peers?
Well, it's one of the largest. As we currently see it, it would be one of the largest silver resources on the ASX. And our plan is to drill more, add ounces, and become the largest. We believe there's great expansion potential within the property, and by doing that, we can become the largest resource on the ASX, the largest silver resource. And as I mentioned earlier, a silver gold prospect with a gold credit makes it even more attractive.
So give us a window into just your first few months as an ASX listed company. What can we look forward to?
So we'll look at getting on the ground quite quickly. We've some field works and some geophysics we want to complete. Following on from that, we'll look to drill. So we're already engaging with drilling contractors and with people in the region with respect to the logistics required to actually get on the ground and drill. And while we're doing that, we'll be looking at the desktop optimization works as well. So a really exciting time, a great region to be in. We have access to all the resources we need, being located 85 kilometers from Elko. So yeah, it's going to be all systems go. Getting the drill rig out there and the truth machine, as it's called, will provide the results. But with a targeted program, we're extremely confident that it will go well.
Fantastic. So just one final word for investors watching this. Just give us three key takeaways. Why Sun Silver?
A globally significant resource in its current right, which we feel has the potential for expansion and growth. We have a fantastic development focused team that has a wide breadth of experience across projects, but also silver, particularly through Nathan Marr. And the location. We're in a tier 1 jurisdiction with low jurisdictional risk, which has a government that is incentivizing the development of projects like Sun Silver. So we're extremely excited to be in the United States. We're extremely excited to have a globally significant resource. And I'm really excited to be supported by a fantastic team that's going to go about and execute this project.
Thanks for joining us, Gerard. We really look forward to following your progress.
Thanks, Nick.